So guys, I have a very good news for all of you active traders. So we have built this page for showing advances and declines on a real-time basis. It's right here, as you can see. The green line shows that how many stocks are advancing, means how many stocks are going up. And the red line shows that how many stocks are declining, means how many of them are going down. And as you can see that the whole thing changes throughout the course of the day, right? So in the morning here, there were more advances and less declines. And as the day progressed, there were more declines as compared to the advancing stocks. Now, the reason I like advances and declines chart so much is because it's a very reliable indicator of how the market sentiment is progressing. And that helps me take high probability trades, right? And this is especially important when it comes to intraday trading. So I'm just going to give you an example of this day itself. So this is last Friday, which is yesterday, and you can see that the day started with the market having a lot of advancing stocks and very few declining stocks. And at some point midday, somewhere around noon, the sentiment changed and there were more declines than advances. Now, if you look at the chart of Nifty, you will see what I'm talking about. So the day started well. The market was healthy. Sentiments were bullish. Market was going up. But somewhere around this time that we see that something changed in the market sentiment. Now, in terms of price, it is very hard to say what was going on because price did not tell us what was going to happen. But the advances and declines did, right? If you looked at the advances and declines at that time, you would have realized that something is changing, and those who did, they would have seen this kind of a correction in the market in the next couple of hours. So that is basically the power of advances and declines chart, and I really want you guys to spend some time on this. And if you're not aware of the importance of advances and declines, please watch this video which I have made where I have clearly explained by taking some real life examples how to read advanced decline chart. Now, the reason we built this is because for a very long time, I was on a lookout for a chart like this where I can see how, market sentiment changes. But the majority of the websites today, they report advances and declines purely in numbers. So right here also, if you can see, if you go to NSE's website, the number of advances are 23, declines are 27. Well, they are only talking about the advances and declines of the 50 stocks that constitute Nifty, right? So that is one problem. They don't tell us what is happening for the whole universe of stocks out there. But the problem that I felt always was that these are in absolute numbers. And as a trader, I prefer to look at these stats in a chart form, in a visual form, so that I can process that number easily, right? So it's much easier to see the advances and declines as this chart as compared to reading these numbers. That's number one. Second thing, which is again a more important thing here, is that even if, let's say, I come here and I see that the number of advances are, let's say, 35, that absolute number of 35 doesn't really help me, right? I need to know whether that number is going up or the number is going down, right? So I'm not really getting any history of what is happening. So that is the reason why I felt that we needed a website where we can see these advances and declines without having to process a lot of data in our mind. We can just visually understand it, and we should be able to see the history of how these advances and declines are progressing throughout the day. So when we couldn't find a single website like that, so we thought let's just build one of our own, right? So this is completely free website. You can just come here, you can just bookmark this link. I will strongly recommend you to bookmark this link, and you can come here anytime during a trading day, and you will see that this chart will update in real time, and it will help you look at how the market sentiment is changing. But this is not the only thing that we did. We did something even better. So this is the regular advances and decline chart, which is based on the previous day's closing price, right? So as compared to the previous day's closing price, if a stock is going up, it is going to be counted in advances. But if it's going down with respect to the previous day's close, it will be counted in declines. But sometimes this analysis also doesn't work. Okay. So let me give you guys an example. So let's say, for example, there is a day with a big gap up or a big gap down. Okay. So let's say there is a big gap up. So what will happen on a day with a big gap up is that the stocks will open higher than the previous day's closing price, and they of course will be counted as part of the advances. So this green line will look something like this. Okay. and the red line will look something like this. So if you come to a regular advanced decline chart where you are just looking for advances and declines, you will get the impression that this market is very bullish. However, what can happen and what does happen a lot of time is that if you see the real market, the market may open higher, but throughout the day, the market keep giving its gains and basically keeps going down and down. So if you keep comparing the price of any stock with respect to the previous day's close, this will show you a different picture, whereas the price is showing you a very different picture, and all because the comparison is happening with respect to the previous day's closing price. Okay. So how do we solve this problem? Well, we can solve this problem by comparing the advances and declines based on the opening price rather than the previous day's closing price. Okay. So if you would have compared it with the current opening price of the day, the chart would look something like this. Right? The chart would go something like this, and then you will be able to understand that, okay, something is wrong in this market. Market is actually going down instead of going up. So how did we solve the problem? Well, we made two charts. So the chart that you see here is the regular chart, which is based on the previous day's closing price, and the one right below it, it is based on the opening price, right? So the chart, these two charts, they will look the same most of the time, but the key difference will appear when there is a big gap up or a gap down, in which case I will recommend you guys to follow this chart to get a better understanding of the market sentiment. So this is basically it, guys. I just wanted to share with you guys that what we have built, and just bookmark this link and come to this chart as frequently as possible. In fact, just keep it open in one of the tabs throughout the day so that you can stay on top of the market sentiment. And the last thing that I would like to say is that if you guys have any suggestions for any free applications that we can build, because we are planning to build several more applications in the coming years. So if you have any ideas of a single page application like this, or even a bigger application with more features that will make your life easier, do let us know in the comments below. There is also a chat button here. You guys can always click on this, chat with the team, give your feedback there. Whatever is the case, we would love to hear from you. And I really hope that you will use this page and hopefully benefit from it.